Well, so confusing. Like, it's not hard, it's just dumb. Yeah.
Okay,
It's back to the hour. She said it's like an AP exam, so there's like no.
let's finish up, the page that we couldn't quite finish. So page 24, let's finish page 24 and we can, talk through the quiz review. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to, memorize the formulas. I'll tell you exactly which ones you're gonna have to know. Okay, yeah.
Like the 34, 13 point, something.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly which, yeah, give me a moment.
Yeah, that's the side, that's.
Okay, so, on your, on the back of your calendar, basically, you're gonna have to know all the formulas except the messy ones, okay? So mean absolute deviation, variance, standard deviation of sample, that won't be on the quiz, okay? But, you know, mean, median, mode, 5-number summary, Q1, Q3, range, interquartile range, and then, yeah, the empirical rule of normal distribution. Is your Z-score, and I'll give you a table for you to work off of on the quiz.
We're not gonna have to do mad or.
That's right, no MAD and no standard deviation on this quiz.
The things that are going to be the only things that are on the list.
Yep. Yeah, so, as you guys work through the quiz review, you're gonna get a very good feel for what to expect. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm just changing the numbers, so it's just, you know. So it's a check-in quiz, no surprises. If you can get through these reviews, you should feel good. Okay, so number 6, X bar is 10, standard deviation is 3.2. We want to find the percentage of trees. Oh, sorry, percentage of trees. So I should have changed my final answer to 67.63%. But we're going to find the z-scores for each of the individual values for 8 and 15. And then we go to our table, we get the corresponding probability, subtract those two probability. And then, yeah, I forgot to convert back to percentage because that's what it's asking for. Okay, number 7, the weight of 1,800 fish. The weights have a mean of 3 kilograms, standard deviation of 5. What percentage of fish weighs at least 3.75 kilograms? So 3.75 kilograms or more. That's what we're looking for, which means that whatever we get from our table, we got to involve subtracting from 1. So we find the z-score 1.5. Probability is 0.9332. Subtract that from 1. We get 0.0668. Percentage is 6.68%. So we want to find 6.68% of 1,800. Then we do 0.0668 times 1,800 and 120 fish. That's our answer. Okay, so let's go to our quiz review. The keys are attached in the back, but see how much you can get done on your own. And then I'll go through each of the problems with you.
I wasn't sure when we did this.
I was just wondering. Yeah, yeah. So you only ones here. There's this.
Okay, so at least like, because it's 4 times.
You put that 68 out.
That's wrong.
Yep.
There's 7 down the tree.
And then go further out. 1.5.
Or 4.
Further out, just after 5.
It's right.
Further out.
It's 35%.
Now, these are percentage versions. These are. If we add all the- If I move it, that's, if I move it to, something important is more, put it out of probability, then all the probabilities will add to the sum. That means it is all the best.
One.
And then-
One. And you know what I got? What? Hold on, I gotta do your math. Oh, okay. No, it's not waiting. Waited, I have.
To
105.
write.
Congratulations. I don't want to stop.
And if something lands directly on it, then it's these percentages, but it doesn't land on it.
Sure, not showing your sign of what it was. It's just.
Stuff sensitive.
Every day I come in, I smile.
Counting out of the.
Well, it's not the rest of anything here.
Yeah. Jobs being around. So it's,
Look at me. Yeah.
I feel like you're punching.
I still want to make sure that we do all this together, so if you guys can go back to your seats, so we can just make sure that that you guys are ready and prepared for your discuss.
Probability that you just do the guessing.
That's right, that's. Five number summary allows you to hit all these points. You have your minimum, you have your Q1, you have your Q2, which is your median, Q3, and then your weeks. Okay, you know that your IQR or your interquartile range between Q3 and Q1 will hold 50% of your data. Seven is right at that 50% line, so below seven is going to be half of your data, so 70%. So if this is the middle 50%, then from Q3 to max will be your upper 25%. And then from your minimum to Q1 is going to be your lower 25%. Right, so basically we split up into quarters. The shape of the distribution test, you see which side has the longer set of whiskers. Here, the longer set of whiskers is on the left, so skew left. The longer whisker is on the right and skew right. It is centered and then symmetrical.
Right, and then I tried it for the for me, the closest one. I guess we could use either of those. So, yeah, if it's symmetrical, it's so if you can. Yours is actually closer. Let me just get this.
Okay, again, Q2 is another name for median. So here's your 5-number summary. You can pull that directly from your table, from your chart above. IQR is Q3 minus Q1, and range is your max minus the min. Here are some notes that are helpful. In a normally distributed distribution, the mean is the best measure of central tendency because everything is balanced. So mean is a good fit, but if there's any sort of a push left or push right, mean is going to be heavily influenced. So median can kind of stand the test of the data being pushed left and pushed right. So median is a better measure of central tendency if your data is not centered nicely. Okay, IQR is the range of values which resides in the middle, 50% of the scores. First quartile indicates that 25% of the score lower than Q1. So from middle to Q1, that's your bottom 25%. From Q3 to your max is your upper 25%. Or you can also say that's upper 75%, or it's a 75th percentile. Median is the middle of the distribution, with 50% of scores having value less than the median. Sorry, less than the median. Okay, number 6. Your bell curve is drawn for you. You're going to have 7 vertical lines that you're going to have to draw. But there's going to be 8 regions that you're going to fill in with their appropriate probability or percentage. Okay, so make sure you memorize those numbers. 34 in the middle, then 13.5 as we go out, then 2.35, and then 0.15. So 7 vertical lines, but 8 subintervals. If a problem gives you, asks you for an interval that where it's nicely defined along your table, along your graph, then you can just use the graph. But if something doesn't land nicely, like if it was asking for less than 109 or greater than 106, 107, then you have to rely on z-score and your table. Okay, no more than means less than, so you want to add up all the numbers to the left of 108. And it's asking for percentage, so out of 100. At least 104 means 104 or higher, so you want to add up all the numbers to the right of 104. Okay, pretty straightforward. Part C, you just add up all the numbers between 102 and 112 because they land nicely at one of the standard deviation values. Okay, 78th percentile, it's not showing up on your graph there, but we can work backwards with z-score, right? We know that 78th percentile is a decimal of what? All right, what's, yeah, 0.78. So you're going to go to your z-score table, find 0.78. You know that anything above 0.5 is going to be on page 3. Anything to smaller than 0.5 is going to be on page 2. Okay. And then page 3, you're going to find that as close to 0.78 as you can. Get the corresponding z-score. Take your z-score. Take your x bar. Take your sigma. And then solve for x. Try number 7. If you get done with this, I think we can also knock out the second worksheet as well, just so we can be really, really comfortable. The quiz will be short tomorrow like this, so I'll give you the first 5-10 minutes beginning of class to look over your notes. And we should all do really well like this. After you get your z-score, yeah, you're going to be looking at the so here for z-score, if you have your z-score, you have your x bar, you have your sigma, which is algebraically trying to solve those. Cross multiply, not those.
So we need to use.
Yeah, so I'll give you, I'll have the table for you. Yeah. I think the most complicated looking problem are the ones like part D, so let me know if you're having trouble with that process. So from your percentage, get to your decimal, from the decimal, use the table to get your z-score, from your z-score, fill in your z, your x bar, and your sigma, cross multiply, and then just try to solve for x. And number 7 is a bit more straightforward because you have x bar, you have your x, you have your sigma, find your z-score. Just keep in mind that after you get to your table, probability, you gotta involve 1 minus because it's asking for a score here. And then asking for percent, so convert that probability to a percent. Okay, I think in 15 minutes, we can do worksheet 2, so let's do that as well. Make sure you're really comfortable so that you don't have to worry about doing any studying tonight. You should be ready for tomorrow, then should go over review during that.
So I'm gonna say, I did this. And I got this for 45th percentile. Would it be, and it'll be over here, so when I just subtract that over this. And probably it. This isn't the middle fixed percent, yeah.
Okay, so that 0.45 is not the z-score, it's the, so you see that the 0.45 here, which is on page 2. Yeah, and so the z-score, that's the corresponding that is negative 0.1. Gotta get the z-score value. Negative 0.1. So negative 0.12, that's the- Okay, try the second worksheet if you haven't already started. And continue working for the next 5 or so minutes, and then I'll let you guys get your bonus. Less than the second. Yeah. Yeah. That's close. You make mistake. Yeah, at least or more than. Okay. Okay, any questions about what it's expected on the quiz? Your quiz will look very much like the reviews that you just did. Um, so, it should take very long. So tomorrow, give you guys about 5 or so minutes to look over your notes. You guys will take your quiz and, I may start on the notes just so I can just stay ahead, but, we'll see. Okay. Um, uh, um, Start on the notes for the remaining portion, for the test that's gonna happen next, week. Okay, all right. What you do get? Yes, you get these calculators, and, I'll also give you a table with just page 2 and 3. They can work off of. All right, don't get your phone.